Welcome to This Podcast Needs a Name, which is either a bold creative choice or just a cold hard irony of trying to be creative in naming things. Probably a little of both. I'm Lee Allentuck, your host. Here's why this podcast exists. I've spent years talking to people who are known as creatives. Scientists, artists, designers, strategists, educators, makers of all kinds. And behind the titles and the accolades and the LinkedIn bios, they're all quietly wrestling with the same things. Doubt, curiosity, fear, play, and the pressure to somehow always be on. So I started recording the conversations. I've spent my career working at the intersection of creativity, play, and innovation with brands like Lego, Hasbro Games, T-Mobile, and more. I've helped teams, brands, and educators make sense of how ideas actually come to life. Every episode, I bring two people from completely different worlds together. Different jobs, different backgrounds, different paths, and we talk about creativity. What's wild is how quickly it becomes very obvious. They're dealing with the same complexities. The same highs, the same lows, the same moments of, I have no idea what I'm doing, and oh wow, this is why I love this. An astrophysicist at NASA and a toy photographer, a puppeteer and a luxury designer, a toy inventor and a science communicator. On paper, they couldn't be more different, but listen for 5 minutes and you'll hear it. Imposter syndrome, creativity under constraints, the role of play, the fear of getting it wrong, the joy of getting lost. Different worlds, the same human experience. This podcast is built on simple beliefs. Creativity isn't a rare talent. It's a practice. Curiosity isn't a personality trait. It's something you choose again and again. And play. Play isn't a distraction from serious work. It's often the reason serious work works. In upcoming episodes, we'll talk about how creativity shows up at NASA, or why nostalgia can unlock new ideas, how people work through rejection and self-doubt, why constraints actually sharpen creativity instead of killing it, and how staying curious is harder and probably more important than it looks. There are no hacks, there are no formulas, just honest conversations and shared patterns you can take with you. So, this is for you if you create, or you problem solve, or you communicate, or you teach, or you parent, or you've ever said, I'm just not as creative as I used to be. Don't worry, you really are. You've just been pretty busy in your life. So here's the only thing I'll ask of you. Stay curious, play a little more than feels productive, and don't assume that people you admire have it all figured out, because they don't. They're just willing to keep showing up. I'm glad you're here. I hope you'll stick around because this podcast needs a name. Come on, let's play.